Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. In today's video, we got a breakdown for you featuring the Golden State Warriors on the defensive end of the floor. So Steve Kerr has been able to uphold one of the best defenses in the NBA so far this season, and a major reason is his use of zone. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the zone usage and exactly what makes him so successful when playing zone defenses. So first, and for the bulk of the video, let's talk about their 1-2-2 zone. So when they play the 1-2-2, it all starts with ball pressure. Whether it's the top guy or the top of the box, they pressure the ball really well. They get up into it, use active hands, active feet, and they basically play man. The whole gist of the zone is a matchup zone on the backside where ball pressure is predominant. But first, let's really break down the positioning and who goes where, why, and all of that. So first thing, they like having a really high-level, high IQ defender at the top of the zone. Whether that means Andrew Wiggins, Andre Iguodala, Juan Toscano-Anderson, or Gary Payton. These 3-4 guys could wreak havoc at the top of the zone. They're very active, they're very smart, they force turnovers, deflect passes, really get up into the ball. And then when it comes to the box or the 2-2 part of the zone, they have a fairly traditional alignment where they put the guards at the top two spots or the elbows, and then they put bigs and forwards on the backside. This alignment and traditional play of the zone makes it easy for matchups and makes it easy to gang rebound when shots are going up. As for the goals and principles of the box part of the zone, it's mostly paint, and their whole goal is to protect the backside and really protect the paint, gang rebound, not allow easy drives, easy penetration, easy passes to the middle of the floor. If the ball gets in the middle of the floor, they do a really good job at fanning out and matching up out of that. But as a zone on that box 2-2, besides the top guy who's pressuring the ball, they really pack it in, really force the offense to play one-on-one with not much space to do anything downhill. Force tough jumpers, force threes, contested jumpers, tough passes. It's a tough zone to beat due to how they pack it in. Along with that, it kind of turns into an amoeba type zone where the matchup on the backside really flows and fluctuates depending on the movement of the offense. So in some situations, it could look like a diamond. It could look like a loaded side with one loner on the backside. Sometimes it could look like a 2-3. Sometimes it just shifts due to their matchup oriented and matchup tendencies within the zone, which makes it so hard to score on and so hard to create advantages. Along with that, their personnel allows the zone to be so good. They have guards that take pride in guarding the ball, pressuring the ball, being dominant forces up front. Along with that, you have a Draymond Green on the backside. You have a Kevon Looney on the backside, who are very talkative, active, able to come out to the wing, bump down, able to guard for a couple seconds, a couple slides on the perimeter. Those little things with their personnel make the zone so effective, and can't go without saying that that's a major reason in their success when they go to the zone. So some final thoughts and conclusions about their 1-2-2 zone are: first and foremost, their ball pressure is what makes it so successful. No matter where the ball is on the floor, they do a great job at getting up into it, being active, and really pressuring the ball. Other than that, the backside, its activity and responsibility in guarding the paint allows them to have that success and make it really tough on the ball to make plays. Their overall activity, their overall pressure, they treat it like a man that switches everything and is very loaded. So at the end of the day, it's really tough for any offense to find advantages and score. So now, let's take a look at their box and one and other junk defensives they have shown throughout the season so far. So as their primary junk defense, they really like the box and one. As the one guy, it's like any other box and one. Your main goal is to pressure, deny, not allow that guy to touch the ball and get easy open looks. On the backside, they're very active. It turns into that amoeba that's the same thing as the 1-2-2. They match up, they stay active, you can see throughout these clips, it's not a traditional box. They match up and it turns into diamonds, it turns into loaded, it turns into 3 guys on one side of the floor, 1 plug in the rim. Like, there's so many different alignments and shifts and and movements on the backside of any of their junk defenses that's really hard for offenses to first be able to see and understand what they're in, and then secondly, to create advantages. The same thing we were saying about their 1-2-2. Their activity and movement and just fluctuation in the matchup zone makes it really hard for offenses to first, just to understand what they're doing, and then secondly, to find ways to take advantage of being in a zone. Usually as an offense, you see a zone and you see barbecue chicken. That's a commonality throughout basketball. But because of their activity, their ability to match up, their ability to switch and just have a ton of different matchups makes it really tough for offenses to find ways to score and create advantages on a consistent basis. Let's talk more about situationally why they even go into a box and one or other junk defenses. So, as every other team does, if a star player on the other team is having a really good night, this might be an option. Along with that, they have a tendency to do it against shooters. Against Toronto, they did it with Gary Trent Jr. Against San Antonio, they did it with Bryn Forbes. These teams that have shooting threats that are floor spacers, they basically take them out of the game and then go into the box on the backside. It's basically like, hey, make the rest of your team shoot a high clip to beat us. It's a really bold move by Steve Kerr and his staff to get into that, and I respect it. It's tough for offenses to take out a floor spacer and make them do things that they're not comfortable with. So the last part of this video, they showed a triangle and two look against the Brooklyn Nets, which is useful due to having the high talent of Kevin Durant and James Harden. So first things first, they denied pressured full court, James Harden and Kevin Durant. And then on the backside, they were very active, but the primary goal was to really stay tight in the paint. The top of the triangle was at the nail, the bottom were at the blocks. They didn't go out unless if the ball was there. So in the corners, if the ball went out, they'd go in pressure. And it's a necessary thing to stop corner threes, but overall they stayed tight in. And then to end the game, they showed a box and one versus Patty Mills, which was seen throughout the course of this video. So to wrap up the video, I just wanted to say that these junk defenses, these zones, these different things that other than man-to-man that you see throughout high levels of basketball can be useful and can be huge learning points for players, coaches, and fans alike. I hope you enjoyed this video, learned something new about defense, and subscribe, and share for more content. And we'll see you guys in the next one.